time I told someone that I went to Vienna for my A-levels, and they're like, oh my god, how was Austria? I'm like, no, I wish I went to Vienna, Austria. I was in Vienna here in Namugongo, just Vienna College. So yes, Vienna College Namugongo. Hi people, welcome to another episode of Randomly Marley and another episode of Vlogmas 2020. Oh, never mind. Scratch that. We found a new intro, right? Welcome to another episode of Randomly Marley. I don't know why it's really exciting me, but anyway, welcome people. Today, story time. I don't know why I really enjoy telling stories, because I feel like I have so many stories. First of all, I've lived through all sorts of experiences. I have done all sorts of things, like just it's been a crazy life. And I've got scars to show for it, quite literally. We're gonna get into the story and I tell you about them scars. But yes, it's just, I have so many stories, so why not? So I'm gonna tell you a story about a time I jumped through a window at school. And the scars, yeah, I got scars to show. So I was in Vienna I finished my A-levels at Vienna College, Namugongo. I think it's important to tell a full school. There's a time I told someone that I went to Vienna for my A-levels, and they're like, oh my god, how was Austria? I'm like, no, I wish I went to Vienna, Austria. I was in Vienna here in Namugongo, just Vienna College. So yes, Vienna College, Namugongo. That's where I completed my A-levels. And I was really such a nuisance. Generally, by the way, everywhere. I don't think I was much of a nuisance at Greensteads, actually. I think maybe I enjoyed the environment, so I didn't have the need to be rebellious. I don't know, because when I think about it, I was like mad and crazy and stubborn, but I wasn't much of a nuisance. Because also there was a lot of freedom in that place, so for you to actually be a nuisance, you had to have done a lot. But anyway, because in type I was a bit of a nuisance, and in Vienna, but yes, so I was a nuisance child. Generally always getting in trouble most of the time, and I would look for every opportunity to skip class. Like I was just never like class. Why? Class for who? For what reason? So I didn't. Morning prep, if I could avoid it, I would avoid it. If I couldn't avoid it, I would wake up, shower, dress up, go and sleep through the whole thing. I don't think that there's ever a single session of morning prep that I was fully awake through, ever, never. Classes, I would dodge sometimes I would attend. Interestingly, I passed. So I would like skip classes, then results come out, and I've done well. Because I'd study. During exams, I would actually go and study, like the week of exams or the week before exams. I'd sit in the library and really just drown myself in books until I understand. But anyway, so I generally didn't attend classes, I didn't attend prep, I didn't attend all those things. Or I would look for any opportunity to avoid them. If there was a way I could dodge, I find a way to dodge all of that. So this one day, it was a Friday. I remember it was a Friday afternoon. So Friday after lunch, usually there were not very many classes, but also like Friday after lunch, like you're tired, you don't have energy to study, to what? Like I just didn't have the energy. So I was in class, chilling, whatever. But then I don't remember how I found out, but I found out that there were people in dorm. Like I had friends who were in dorm, like they didn't leave dorm or something. Or I think I knew and I remembered. Anyway, so generally there were people in dorm, me, I was outside, so I'm like, but why am I suffering? So I went to them. I was just speaking to them through the window. Of course, you have to be careful and cautious, because here in like they lock dorms during class time. You're not allowed to go in. You're like not supposed to be in dorms during class time, and then after class, that's when they open all the dorm rooms and you enter. So these guys found a way to hide during class hours. So when they were locking dorms, they got locked inside. So I think I had gone to talk to them. So of course you have to talk quietly, be discreet, blah blah blah, because you don't want them to know. You don't want, a teacher or a cleaner or anyone to see that you're speaking to people in dorm, because then that's trouble. Then there's someone who wasn't in dorm in the morning, who was then locked in dorm. Like they had passed through the window. So they told me he passed through the window. So the way the windows were set up, it was like a frame of a window, and then it had louvers, and they were glass louvers, but they were removable. Like you could slide them out. So I was like, huh? Then they told me, just slide out the louvers. I'm like, okay. So I slid out 2 louvers, and I looked at the space, and I was like, yep, this is enough, let's go. Yeah, so I slid myself in. I climbed in through the window, and I was fine. My head went in, my waist, my what, then I reached my hips, and I got stuck. And I was like, oh snap. So I tried to turn and then go in. Then now the hips got stuck here. So I turned to go this way. Then the bum got a bit stuck. Then generally I was like, wow, okay. So what it was is that I underestimated the size of my hips and my bum. So I was like, so I got stuck. Now, of course, in this situation, you're in a panic because now I'm like, do I force it and try and jump in? Do I get out? But for me, my thing was, man, if I get out, like it was a thing of no turning back, like just keep it moving, no turning back. So I'm like, you know what, I'll be fine. So I continue and try and force myself through. So I'm going through the window and I got stuck, right? Like my hips and my bum, as you can see, the waist is a bit moved in here. So I got stuck. Then, so of course I was in, sort of going in like straight kind of whatever. Then as I was trying to move, I put my knee down on one of the louvers and it snapped. Generally what happened here, so I think my knee hit it or something, my thigh like banged the thing and the thing snapped. And I'm like, oh snap. Then I tried sliding out, or I continued insisting going in because I remember I got inside. And then anyway, so at the end of it, I had glass stuck in my thigh. And I'm like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. So where the window was, it fell, like on the other end of the window was a bed because we had double decker, so it was the top decker. So eventually I get in. I think someone had to remove another louver for me to enter. So eventually I get in. Now I'm getting in, I'm like holding my legs straight because I have glass stuck inside my thigh. So I must make sure I don't bang it anywhere because the glass could probably go in more or something. Just things could fall apart. So I get in and I'm bleeding, blood is gushing out. I bled onto someone's bed sheets, Bambi. But they were not even bothered because they were just looking at the blood and whatever, and they were like, let me tell you guys, you know that there's a bit of adrenaline or what like numbs you a bit. I don't know if it was adrenaline or the shock of being cut with glass or whatever it was, but I know that I felt no pain. Because I was looking at the glass and the thing was bleeding. Blood was like gushing out of my thigh. And I was like, so blood is like gushing out of my thigh. And I literally, and there's glass stuck inside. And I literally just went and removed it and put it aside. And my friends were looking at me and they were like, what just happened? Because the way I did it was like something out of a movie. I just remove, keep it moving. And they were like, I'm sorry, what? I was like, guys, I literally feel nothing. Anyway, so I basically have scars to show for it. But yeah, that's the story. I was a bit of a nuisance and always looking for trouble, always looking for an excuse to get out of school or class or whatever. Bad idea, kids. Stay in school, study, read your books, do what you gotta do, because otherwise you get scars. Okay? You don't want scars. These are the scars. This one was a bit smaller than the rest, was like this much, so it's pretty much faded. The rest are still there, but we shall be fine. Thanks for watching another episode of Randomly Marley. Thanks for taking part in Vlogmas 2020 with me and watching all my videos. If you haven't caught all the videos, just binge watch, go on a marathon and just watch them. I've been posting a video every day since the 1st of December. My videos go up at 6 p.m. East African time. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, great evening, great afternoon. Just stay blessed. Bye.